Okay, starting off, we're going to be doing a Elden Ring bow-only run video series, and this will be over a couple episodes, and I hope you all enjoy. To start off, I made my character, picked the samurai because of the longbow, so I did have an actual weapon to start off the game with. I sprinted through the entirety of the tutorial area, and to be mentioning how this is going to be going, this is going to be relatively hard from what I've seen, because I didn't really do much research for this run. I haven't went and seen where all the golden seeds are, where everything is. All I know is from watching a couple things on how to get, like, the one, maybe two of the bow talismans and the composite bow. And with this, I go and find my first challenge, the Soldier of God. With it, I opened up with a mighty shot from one arrow, and then I killed him. That's all I have to say. Hardest boss, 10 out of 10, would do, got it. On par of Slave Knight Gale, that type of stuff, you know. And as I advanced, I got strength. Woohoo! Yeah! I went past a golden tree that you can't get a golden seed off of, sadly. And I went out. You can see my beautiful face. And, sadly, I then go to meet Vare, who tells me that I am maidenless. This makes me very mad. So I shoot an arrow through his skull. And then he continues talking to me for some reason, while there's an arrow right between his eyes. You can even see the point sticking out through the back of his head. Which, you know, it's always fun. It's always fun. And I jump off, thinking that I don't take damage, and I'm correct for once. So I start to sprint off to Merchant Kale. Now I de-equip all of my arrows to see if I can do any sort of attack that's like a jumping arrow attack with my bow. So, yeah, turns out you can't. So I end up killing this sheep, grabbing the bones from its rotting corpse, and then start on my way to the Church of Ella, where I talk with Kale, and I'm going to let you enjoy this little ambient. Then after which, I go to the little town area, and I meet Melatonin. She then proceeds to offer me a Honda Accord, which I graciously accept. I don't know why you would ever approach a man like this who just happens to be sitting only wearing gloves. Which, I mean, like, you know, you can request his services, but the only reason why he even has gloves on is so he doesn't hurt his fingies while pulling a bow. I get my horsey, so I can play My Little Pony, and then I leave, since I do not have anything to level with. Then I go to get the Wet Blade, which will be my magical, I can apply different ashes of war, adding skills, adding affinities, Storm Stomp, a skill I'm never going to use. It's fantastic, and then I start riding. I get the map, and then I go start to try and make it up to Stormhill. I choose a different route than what I do normally. I haven't really been up here before, so I see what's up here. Because it can never hurt to see what's in a new area. That's what they want you to think. Because I find that there is a bunch of lightning here for some ungodly reason. Got a nice little shot of the moon and the lightning there. So I move up. Notice there isn't a place I can go. And try not to die from lightning. And get a bunch of Fulgur blooms. So as I jump up this wind geyser, I'm thinking, hey, it's gonna be fine. No biggie. And then I see, 30 giants. And I go up here to collect a couple rune fragments, but who's that Pokemon? It's a murder bird. Which I'm not prepared to fight at all. Because I do 69 damage, even with a headshot. I gotta say, it's a nice amount of damage, but not nice enough. So as I'm running in terror from this monstrosity that I just happened to stumble upon while almost completely nude, I go through here, and then I eventually make it to the War Master's shack, where we have a good old Bernal. He's definitely not gonna appear later and be an evil guy. You know, he's like nice and kind and that all. I can't buy anything from him since he has no bow skills, so I proceed to the Black Knife Catacombs. And in the Black Knife Catacombs, or no, I mean, they're not the Black Knife, they're the Death Touched, but with this Catacombs in particular, I didn't think that having a bow, you know, it does piercing damage and all that stuff. What's the main type of enemy in Catacombs, you may ask? Skeletons! The things that have huge arse gaps in between the things you can hit. So my arrows obviously don't do that much, and I don't know why I go for Great Reward, because I'm not going to be using summons in this run, because I'm a very manly archer, as you can tell, with my beautiful face that you've seen within the earlier confines of my video. So I pull the lever, and I grab the blood roses here. And for those of you that know where the Death Touch Catacombs are, you may be questioning, why did I pick the Black Knife Assassin for my first boss? And to you, sir, I don't know. I just remembered he was here and thought, oh yeah, he was an easy kill in my other runs, so well, why not try to fight him? What I didn't realize is that after the initial mighty shot with a fire arrow, he dodges my shots. So I have to do a very odd tactic, to say the very least. After my first couple things, I learned that I have to attempt to predict where he's going to dodge, which has gotten me a couple hits on him, but it's iffy at best. So I then attempt to go close enough range to where he can't dodge, but he can't hit me. So I have a tricky game of cat and mouse where I'm the horrified mouse who has like thumbtacks to deal damage. I do just enough damage to actually kill him in this fight somehow on my first try, but I'm at the point where I didn't even switch my blue flask over. Because I'm not going to be using Mighty Shot that much, because it's not viable in combat. And I can't do any rolling shots because I have the longbow, and you can't do rolling shots. Your best shot, pun intended, is the running shot, because that comes out the quickest, or the jump shot. And I slowly but surely whittle this monstrosity down. In most runs, he wouldn't be a monstrosity, but here I am, watching myself almost die to the first Black Knife Assassin that starts with only 3/4 health. And then as I move on, I did upgrade my bow slightly prior to going to the coastal cave, but I'm watching and learning to see how my bow affects different enemies. I went here at night, which I did not know that the demi-human starts screeching at you randomly, so I killed this guy to get his extra money, and wow, he gave me 210. What a magical number. So I venture down, having no light source to speak of, and I meet one of my first hurdles that will really just stomp in how crappy the longbow is to start out with. Because it doesn't have good damage. It has a low wind-up time for attacks, and the ammo does cost money, so it's not like I can just magically keep trying bosses. I have to be actually conservative, because I need money for arrows, and if I want to have more arrows than I already do, I have to kill something that will net me positive. So I come here with around 43-ish arrows and 5 fire arrows. I can't charge Mighty Shot because the little goblins around me are just attacking me all the time. I would be surely dead if the second demi-human chief showed up, but doesn't. He's probably just messing with the little sewing kit he got from Bach. So I'm running in terror, attempting the jump shot. They're all such small targets that it's hard to hit them without a standing shot. And I use up all my flasks, and I find that, yes, I die very quickly. It's easy for me to do. It wasn't very smart of me to strip down naked. So, what do? I tried out my damage. I head to the smithing school, and I'll let you enjoy this nice little section of me murdering miners and attempting to murder miners with my last 5 fire arrows, because those are the things that are effective against them, along with Mighty Shot. And finally, I meet the big boss, the big bad, the evil guy, the Gold Trigger troll. Oh, no, it's Stone Trigger. So, he's an easy boss, to say the least, on a normal run. He's not hard by any stretch of the imagination. So you just go under him, avoid his sweep and attack, fire arrows, try to get off a Mighty Shot if possible, but it doesn't even matter if you hit like his knees or something that's less damage, because I'm doing, like, I'd say around a 17th of his health bar with each shot. I know I'm doing slightly less, but I'm not really over-exaggerating. So, I just charge off 3 mighty shots there, roll through his attack with ease, and boom. Eventually he dies. I know I don't have the footage for it, but he did die, and I did get the War Medallion, which I'm never going to use. I sell all my things that I've collected to Kale, because I am very useful with my things. As you can see there, there's the War Medallion. And then I upgrade my longbow to +1. After my wondrous adventures in the mines, I start going into the hills of Limgrave and hear the good old friend Alexander the Warrior Jar. I talk to him, agree to help him out, and you may be questioning, can I do this with a mighty shot? I don't think I can, because I tried and it failed. I try again, because I think maybe but I just ended up shooting Alexander with a bow, twice in the back, which is very depressing because, you know, Alexander's like the bestest boy. So I then head to the bridge to see what I can do against the Mad Pumpkinhead, which is a overworld version of a boss you can find. And then we'll see how I duel against him. Once I gain the courage to take him on, he's smashing his head on random things, which, I mean, like, I know if you're angry, it happens, but he takes very minimal damage to the head, which makes this extremely annoying because I need to roll by him to actually do anything. After taking around 6 arrows without being phased, he becomes a very difficult fight. I'll show you a nice little montage of me fighting. Then, once I reach the Church of Ella, I talk to Rena. Definitely not Ronnie. Like, who's Ronnie? Who's Ronnie? I get something that is completely useless for my run because I'm not going to be using summons because I use archers. I see Kale taking a nap there. He's all sleepy weepy, blah blah blah. And I talk to him after he wakes up. And buy me some arrows. And with that, I set off to Stormfoot Castle. But first, I'm gonna stop at the same bridge again to show this guy who's boss. But no. You thought I was. I just run past him instead. I grab this little item here, I go to the Death Touch Village, talking to this merchant, and you'll have a nice little peaceful section of me not talking. I know my voice is like an iron scraping against iron, you know. I then find Biggest D, who is here while there's that creepy man in the background with that like skull flame whip or whatever. He's like, "Oh no, don't go." And as Gigamel, as you've seen in some of my earlier things, I inspect the corpse and see that they were not as worthy as I am. And I have asked to the Death Touch Village, because I think it's Tibia Mariner. Like, they're one of the easiest bosses. They're like old little grandpas. But oh boy, was I wrong. If they weren't enough of a slap in the face with the demi-human chiefs, this is horrible. I didn't do well in this fight. I'm not even gonna show you the footage, I'm too embarrassed. He disappears like that, and I go off to Stormfront Castle to attempt to salvage my dignity. And I have the very beautiful view of night. You should come here more often at night. It's actually pretty. And I see Foul tarnished in search of Elden bling. I fight Margit to test my damage against an actual foe. And I do mildly okay at best, because I still have a +2 bow. My fire arrows do 85 damage, which is pretty pathetic, but I don't have enough arrows or HP to outlast this fight, which I really need to prepare more for. Then I roll, try to escape, and then, you know what? I'm starting to think maybe I should try to work on parry timings to see if I can maybe parry him a couple times and get a free couple bow shots off. And you can see how that went. It's not pretty. It really isn't, but then some of my footage got corrupted, so I went to Lenaria, got the composite bow, got some more flasks, got the glintstone key. I then went back and beat Margit after, and all was not exactly well. One of the major things I got was sleep arrows, which will be useful for a certain specific type of skin duo later in the game. I found them at that isolated merchant there. I got the stuff, as I said earlier, and then I went to the Bellum Church to get the composite bow, because that assisted me in killing Margit, and I went up to Godric, but I wasn't able to kill him. And like and subscribe for more videos and higher quality, hopefully. Bye-bye!